I mean, what is the Republican Party today? You know, I've got Republican friends who don't like to be associated with each other because they're in different factions of the Republican Party. I think that, you know, when you look at the two, I think there's potential there for that party. That's the Republican Party is kind of turned more towards populism and actually fighting for working people. You look at a recent vote that was taken, you know, on the issue of foreign policy and war and peace. The Republican Party had, like, I think it was 50 members of Congress voted against that massive multi-billion-dollar funding package for Ukraine, and have been saying, hey, we shouldn't be waging this proxy war against Russia, or at least we need to have a debate or accountability. 0 Democrats voted against that. So you look at, you know, the Democratic Party that used to have people who, you know, protested the Vietnam War and others. Now, I mean, the Democratic Party leadership is very strongly within the grips of the military-industrial complex and advocating for more war, and you have more Republicans. And I think even Trump, this was Trump's instinct when he ran for president and he was president, was like, hey, we shouldn't be going and being the policeman of the world. We shouldn't be going around the world and starting all these wars. I think the problem with him was he surrounded himself with people who held a diametrically opposed view. You know, Mike Pompeo, Nikki Haley, John Bolton, people who never saw a war they didn't like, and advocated for. So there's movement. There's movement happening within the Democratic Party. Leadership is going crazy. I think the Republican Party is, I don't know. I think they're trying to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they had someone like Ron DeSantis, who seems to be like the most reasonable amongst the potential candidates, he seems to be, you know, a pretty no-nonsense guy, not without his flaws, but he's more reasonable than anything that I'm seeing on the left.
Yeah.
At least with the way he handled COVID.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where, as it's all playing out, there's this sense of hopelessness because there's not a clearly defined path where this country's ship gets righted. Mm-hmm. It's like I just see a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion and a lot of infighting, and I don't know how this plays out. It doesn't seem like there's a real clear, this is our path to sanity.
You're right. And I think the first step towards that path, though, is people recognizing what the insanity is and the problems. And I think that more and more these things are coming to light. I can tell you, I mean, I know there are a lot of Democrats that feel the same kind of frustration that I feel with the Democratic Party leadership.
Often quietly.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of quiet disagreement where